Good morning, beautiful people. How are you today? This morning, I would like to talk about a topic that might be a little triggering. It might really cause some discomfort, but at the same time, I hope it brings some awareness to anyone that might be struggling with it. The topic today is the divine feminine wound and the divine masculine wound, and how it can cause friction when trying to connect or in relationships. I'd also like to point out that it does not matter what gender you are or who you identify as when it comes to relationships or yourself. It's more about, we all have the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us, and it's more about who you personally identify as. So just kind of feel your way through it and see what resonates with you. With the divine masculine wounds, it might be that you had an absent father growing up, or an abusive father growing up, someone who made you feel like you were never enough. It could be that they were physically, mentally, or even sexually abusive. The same with the divine mother, or the divine feminine wound. It could be that the mother was absent or abusive in some way, or that you might have felt abandoned by one of your parents. This can cause a deep wound within us that will then reflect on how we relate in relationships or how we connect. There is like a Peter Pan syndrome, where somebody never grows up. They're always immature. They have that childlike nature. They never take anything seriously. They can't connect on a more serious level. Seriousness and vulnerability makes them very uncomfortable. There's also where women feel like they have to be more in their masculine energy and protect themselves so that they don't get hurt. This is very common in women, where, and it doesn't always have to be that it came from an abusive parent. This could have come from a protection mode when it came to friendships or even relationships growing up, where you felt like who you were was not acceptable and you had to become someone else or something else to get you through those situations. So how do we heal this, right? Like now that we've kind of identified, and obviously I'm giving like the short version on this. How do we heal these wounds? How do we heal something that is a deep wound, possibly from childhood, or something that we've kept ourselves in for our entire life? Well, the first thing is to identify that there actually is a disconnect, that there actually is a wound there. And then once you identify and acknowledge it, working through it, you might want to write a letter to these people and write a letter acknowledging what happened and that you acknowledge their role in it, and then accepting that this wound has brought you to where you are right now in your life. Like, maybe this wound has helped you to help other people or giving you a purpose in life. And maybe not. Like, I don't want to like put it out there that you need to be grateful for something that you might not be ready to be grateful for. But having compassion for somebody and realizing that they were only as good as what they knew, that how they treated you or what happened to you wasn't really about you. It was about them. It was about something they were going through or what they didn't know how to deal with. And unfortunately, you suffered as a result. And after writing this letter, you can burn it. Like, go somewhere that means something to you, read it out loud and burn it and ask the universe to take that energy away. Therapy is another way to deal with this. There's a lot of ways to really figure out like how to reconnect with yourself, especially like with females. Like, if you attract a man who tends to be more in his feminine energy and you're really wanting that masculine energy in your life, you might be attracting more beta males because you're too much in your alpha energy. And the same with men. They might be attracting women who are in their stronger roles or more in their masculine energy because they didn't have like a father figure, or because they're looking to be mothered. It all like really depends on the dynamic. Once you have like a good balance of both, you will soften and you will And what I mean by that is when I say soften, I don't mean like become more feminine. Possibly if you're a female in your masculine energy, you'll want to become more feminine, but you'll soften in a way where you won't be as hard on yourself. You'll notice your patterns, you'll notice your triggers, and you'll want to correct that behavior because you'll realize like, this is no longer serving me. This is no longer getting me what I desire. I'm looking for connection. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for a deeper meaning in my relationship, or I'm looking for, a better connection in my marriage, and I'm not finding that. So when you kind of come to these conclusions, it'll help in you to soften and not judge yourself so much. For myself, just as an example, like this week I've been very tired, and I usually get up and go running every morning, and I've been too tired to run, so I've been walking like 5-6 miles a day, and usually I would really judge myself on that, and that's not good enough. But I'm really listening to my body. I'm really wanting to appreciate my feminine energy. Like, I want to appreciate my feminine body and be happy with who I am in this moment. It doesn't matter if I'm 10 pounds lighter or 10 pounds heavier. I want to appreciate my curves and touch my skin in the way that I want a partner to touch me. I want to connect with myself in a way that a partner connects with me. And so if you're wanting somebody who's authentic and committed, and has like the same values as you first have to establish what are those value systems, like what values do you have, and then you need to become more authentic, more committed, more loyal, like whatever those values are. You need to become that in order to attract that. And that doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine. I just want to use examples so that you can see both. And so I hope that this video kind of brings some enlightenment to the masculine and the feminine wounds, and how you can get started on recognizing if there is a wound there, and how you can then go about finding ways to heal that. Because if you continue to ignore it, you're never really going to be able to connect on the level that you're wanting to connect with when it comes to relationships, friendships. This is why they say that your partner should be your best friend, right? Like, your partner shouldn't be everything. Like, your partner is not your therapist. Your partner is not your best friend, like your best girlfriend or your best guy friend. But you should be able to be vulnerable with your partner like you would be with your best friends. Meaning, like, take yourself out of a comfort zone. Are you able to tell them your deepest fears? Are you able to share with them your desires in intimacy and how you want to be touched and how you want to be connecting? Because these are going to be very clear indications on where you need to heal and where you need to begin that process. So I hope that this helps, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.